Joe Taslim recently celebrated his birthday, and we managed to get another little snippet of behind the scenes for the upcoming Mortal Kombat movie through that. I don't know if you saw this, but Greg Russo tweeted out to Joe Taslim on his birthday. He said, "Happy birthday, Joe Taslim, but I can't take credit for the brilliant casting. Simon, our director, was all over it. I think when he pitched me his desire to cast Joe, I fanboy gushed something like, 'This needs to happen. Please, please, please.'" Every time Greg Russo tweets anything regarding the Mortal Kombat movie, I find it a little bit more interesting.
Yes, I am getting more and more. Like I'm always more excited to hear more about it, and whenever he says something, it's like a little sort of insight, which makes me even more interested. You know?
Yeah, and there's so little news out there right now about the movie coming up that everything is still a mystery. I mean, minus the leaked script that we've been told isn't going to be the actual script. So. But I mean, all signs still kind of point to that being the actual script. So we'll have to wait and see what we get. I think this was really interesting because it wasn't Greg Russo that wanted to bring Joe on in this role. It was Simon McCoy.
I'm just happy that somebody actually suggested it because I'm a big fan of Taslim. Like his stuff with the Raid and like The Night Comes for Us and Warrior as well. I actually need to catch up on Warrior, but oh man, like he's such a good actor and he's such a good martial artist. And as a martial artist as well, it's so good to see that they're actually bringing in proper martial artists for the movie.
And he's amazing too.
He really is.
So we're still not sure exactly who Joe Taslim is going to be playing in the Mortal Kombat movie.
I think, they've said he's SubZero, but I'm pretty sure that it's been mentioned somewhere that he's playing Bihan specifically.
Yes, that's right. And comicbook.com actually recently wrote an article just about this topic, about Joe's birthday. And one of the fans tweeted out to Joe and said, "I hope Bihan gets justice done." And Joe actually responded to him, said, "Giving everything," and told him that the character is written beautifully. So does that kind of support the Bihan idea? I mean,
I'm pretty
it seems
sure it
like
does,
it.
because they're saying that this is going to be a sort of, it's going to be Mortal Kombat from the start, right? So I don't see them skipping Bihan straight into Kuai Liang. It wouldn't make sense. And also, Joe Taslim himself has actually played in a sort of anti-hero / villain role anyway, and he excels in these roles. So I think it would be perfect for him to actually move into the whole Noob Saibot thing from SubZero.
That would be amazing if they end up following more traditional storylines, because games like Mortal Kombat Mythologies wrote so much detail into these characters and expanded each of these characters out so much further than we originally had back in the original Mortal Kombat days. So if they actually did something more closer to the source material, it would be an amazing story.
That's the thing, though. We've always been asking for something close to the source material, and I have to say we are usually disappointed in that regard. So I'm really hoping that we are not disappointed here.
We were pretty close with the recent Scorpion's Revenge in a couple of ways, but I mean, overall, it was a Mortal Kombat movie and not a Scorpion movie, which I was a little disappointed by that.
Yeah, but even then, like, it was its own sort of retelling, right? And as we mentioned previously, how they had Scorpion's sort of legacy origin story rather than his actual game origin story and the like. So that, like, I see sort of things like that being done with the movie. And so I'm just hoping that they've managed to at least keep the core aspects of certain characters and plot lines.
Yeah.
One thing that I do love about Joe Taslim as SubZero is it just me, or do you sort of see the resemblance to Kuai Liang in MK11? When he's got like his facial features and everything, he really does remind me of SubZero from MK11.
Yeah, he does. They've picked a good actor to visually represent him. But if he's Bihan, are we going to see him without a mask?
That's one of the funny things about MK. Like when you see the characters without the mask, it can be pretty cool. But for me, the masks are so important to like the characters like the ninja that I don't want to see them without the masks. But then, how do they get across who the actor is?
Also, they're bringing in a lot of martial artists, which usually when Hollywood brings in actors for famous masked roles, like I'm thinking of Judge Dredd specifically, they unmask them for half the movie because these are big Hollywood stars. But Mortal Kombat bringing in different martial artists and lesser known actors and actresses, this gives them the ability to keep them masked through the entire movie, more like how the movie Dredd was made, where Judge Dredd never takes off his mask, which was more aligned to the source material. So I'm hoping we get that sort of a movie where we don't need to see the star power, because these are people that the fans know and not Hollywood knows.
Yeah, that's one thing that I'm very happy about with the casting of all the casting basically. It's mostly just lesser known actors. And I don't want to put any actors down, because I'm very impressed with what I've seen of many. And as I've said before, I'm a fan of Joe Taslim from before this. But it's nice to see these kind of actors brought in rather than big Hollywood actors, where they would focus more on showing who they are rather than who the characters are.
And, if this movie is as good as we're hoping, then this is going to skyrocket each of these actors into that Hollywood celebrity life that they deserve, because these are amazing actors that they've cast so far, and that's what's given me the most hope for this movie, is the actors themselves.
So have you checked out the show Warrior?
No, I haven't heard of it. What is it?
It's set during the Tong Wars in San Francisco. It kind of centers on this Chinese martial artist prodigy, basically, who immigrates to San Francisco and joins one of the Tongs. And now Joe Taslim is in it. He's not actually the protagonist, but he plays this really cool role. And I mean, firstly, the protagonist himself, Andrew Koji, he plays the role very well. But Joe Taslim himself, it's really interesting to see his character. I'd highly recommend this show, especially if you want your martial arts fix.
So it's like a kung fu movie or a kung fu show?
Yeah, it's martial arts, but it's a very interesting take on things, considering where it's set and everything. You've got to see it to know what I mean. Like, I don't know how to describe it without actually spoiling it for anyone. And also, to be fair, I actually need to catch up on it myself. But from what I've seen, it's a very good show, and I think they've announced a second season for it too. So if you are into martial arts and you want to check out Joe Taslim and some things in recent, this is from 2019, have fun.
Where can I see it? Do I got it? Is it on Netflix or something?
I think it's on Cinemax. I'm not 100% sure though.
Okay.
Oh, and one thing I did forget to mention is it's actually based on an original concept by Bruce Lee. So yeah, that might tick the box for anybody who wants to check that out.
What do you mean? How is it one of his original concepts?
All right, I'm assuming it's what Bruce Lee did was he was trying to bring martial arts to the West and sort of not commercialize them, but show them off in his own way. And I guess this is one of the concepts he had, and which is now being brought to life.
That's really cool. I wonder how many more shows like that are out there that have never been produced.
Definitely something to check out. I'd love to see more of that stuff. As Mortal Kombat fans, I'm assuming many of us are also somewhat, into martial arts in some way. So definitely something interesting to have a look at.
Yeah, I'll definitely check it out. So happy birthday to Joe Taslim.
Happy birthday.
And thank you, Simon McCoy, for recognizing this talent and for bringing him on to the Mortal Kombat movie. Can't wait to see it. Also, the Mortal Kombat reboot movie is scheduled to be released in January 15th of 2021. That could change again because they've already moved it up once, but here's hoping we're going to be getting it in just a few more months.
And hopefully we get a teaser or something sometime soon.
Oh, I think that's definitely about to happen.
Looking forward to it. Thanks for checking out this Tarkatan Bitesize episode. Let us know what you think of Joe Taslim's casting as SubZero and potentially Bi-Han. And let us know what you think of whether or not he's going to be Kuai Liang or move into the role of Noob Saibot eventually. And we'll be bringing you the next episode of the Realmcast soon. Please like, follow, subscribe to stay up to date with our videos. And we'll be seeing you soon. Thanks. Take care.